Hey friends, Cat here at FreeBody, and I was working with a client the other day, and I wanted to share with you what we kind of figured out that was really triggering her sciatica. She's never had sciatica symptoms before. She's in her 40s, super fit, like healthy, strong, and she suddenly started having really terrible sciatica-like symptoms, deep aching in her hamstrings. And one of the things that she determined, even before she could come see me, because I couldn't see her right away. So I was like, well, just kind of start noticing how you're going about your day. What are the things that sort of make it worse, and what are the things that make you better? And one of the things she noticed was that she was sitting with her right leg crossed over her left. She started taking a class online, and her computer was over here, her laptop was over here, her right hip's all jacked up here, and then she'd write some notes, and then she's like this. So she's in a twist, always a terrible idea to get yourself stuck in a twist. And she was chronically crossing her right leg over her left and lifting that hip up. I said, yeah, you're probably even like, do you always sit on the left side of the couch? And she went, I always sit on the left side of the couch, and I always do this when I'm sitting on the couch. I want you to understand that really, truly, your posture does have a lot to do with how you feel in your body. And that sometimes when something comes on really suddenly, she suddenly had these terrible, debilitating sciatica pain symptoms and sciatica symptoms and radiating pain and deep ache in her butt, hamstrings on fire. It's not sudden. It happens suddenly, but it's not sudden. The thing is, trigger points get programmed into your body, and often over a long period of time, often relative to your posture. So she realized that she's always sat on the left side of the couch, lifting up her right hip. She realized that she always sits with her right leg crossed over her left. And when she started putting those pieces together, even before she was releasing her trigger points and even before I could work with her, she started to kind of bring down her experience of pain in her body just by shifting that posture, her position. When you shift that position and you're not reinforcing the trigger points, it's going to help things tone down a little bit. The trigger points are still in there. And that's kind of a tricky thing about trigger points. You see, latent trigger points are trigger points that are stuck in your tissue, and they're kind of wreaking havoc. They're limiting your range of motion, and they're stuck in contraction. It's tension stuck in your muscles. But they're not causing pain in the immediate. So we may not be paying attention to these areas of our body because we're not aware. Would you necessarily be aware if your leg didn't cross over in quite exactly the same way? Or when you're walking, if your right foot didn't step out quite as far as it used to? Probably not. What really gets our attention is pain. When we sit in a position over a long period of time and we have these latent trigger points kind of in there in the muscles, kind of grabbing and holding tension, an incident or a strong contraction or even just a little slip or fall is going to turn those trigger points into active trigger points. It's going to activate the latent trigger points, and that's when we start feeling pain. And that's why we can feel, oh, this is a sudden thing. I had a client sometime several months ago came in, and he's limping, and he said, oh, my sciatica came back. I haven't had this in so many years. And I said, what'd you do? And he's like, I was putting on my underwear. And he just stumbled a little bit putting on his underwear. His foot got caught in his underpants, and he kind of stumbled and fell, and his body went, oh, I know how to stabilize. I know how to contract. And whatever latent trigger points, the ones that are causing limit in your range of motion but not causing pain, whatever trigger points you have in your body, they're the first thing that's going to grip, and they're going to turn on that pain that is making you pay attention. So it's like something seems sudden, but it's not actually sudden at all, which is why you should watch all the videos on this channel grab your therapy balls, get on the floor, get against the wall, regularly explore your body for trigger points because they're there. I guarantee you, unless you're getting massage like at least once a week, maybe a few times a week, having the perfect diet, drinking the perfect amount of water, moving the perfect amount throughout your day, stretching in just the right amount, exercising the perfect amount. Okay, you may not have a bunch of trigger points in your body. Go you, right? But for the rest of us, the 99.999% of the rest of the population who doesn't have all those things and isn't receiving massages all the time, we've got trigger points, and they're in there and they're kind of lurking, and they're just waiting for that little stumble or a little bit too much of a twist or one too many times of crossing that right leg over the left, or a little bit of attitude when you're standing. And it's going to be just enough to flip that switch, activate those trigger points, and send you into pain. So I hope that you found this video to be helpful. I trust that it's making you think a little bit more about, oh yeah, I do, whenever I get a hip thing, it is always on that right side, or my low back on the left side is always hurting. Yes, I always cross my right leg over. Oh, I always stand with my weight on one side. So I want you to pay attention to your posture, and I want you to get on the therapy balls. I want you to explore your body just a couple times a week even. It doesn't have to be every day, although that would be amazing, right? Because there are trigger points in there, and they're just waiting to bring you down, and you don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So take care of your body. Check out your posture. We're gonna put a link to the video where I talk about active posture sitting and active posture standing, because ultimately active posture is quite easy. Like, I don't feel tired sitting up in good posture. I get tired when I slouch and slump, like, ooh, it doesn't feel good. And it takes a little bit of time to retrain, but you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in us. I want you to feel good in your body. Thanks for watching. Hey, give me a subscribe and put a like on this video if it helped you, and I'll see you next time.